So it was just announced yesterday that Sony's putting yet another nail in the Vita's coffin. Apparently, after June 15th or towards the end of June is when Sony will stop accepting new publishers or publishers to submit requests for new Vita carts, effectively ending the cart production for the life cycle of the Vita. And if you've seen a lot of my videos, you know I'm a huge fan of the Vita. And I just kind of wanted to get my thoughts out on this. Part of me, I'm sad, but also relieved at the same time. I kind of thought this time would have come a long time ago, about a year ago, or even towards the end of last year. Um, Effectively, we still have the rest of 2018 to get through, and there's still a lot of games coming down the pipeline, both from Limited World Games, Axis Works, even Atlas still has their Persona games coming to the West. Some good stuff left and some life in the Vita. Um, but
I guess it's kind of an era. A lot of publishers are migrating to the Switch. I've slowly started to adapt the Switch as kind of my go-to portable, um, and I like the versatility of being able to dock it. I mean, I get kind of the same experience or same sense of feeling that I got when I was using the PlayStation TV. Granted, instead of having two different peripherals or consoles, I guess, to use, it's kind of handy to have it all in one. Granted, there's still some things about the Switch I'm not exactly happy with. One, it's not very easy to travel with. My Vita goes with me to work every day. It's very portable for me. I don't have to worry about pulling off the Joy-Cons. The screen is perfect. I can still easily watch movies on it, which is great. Yes, the Switch has a bigger screen, but again, that counts for that portability issue. Um, and I am getting older, so bigger, larger screens are a little easier to see. But I don't know. I mean, in a sense, as a collector, I've got a full U.S. Vita library, unless you count Epic Mickey 2, which is actually not really considered part of the U.S., but is because it's got an ESRB rating. But that's a whole different story I may talk about another time. Maybe if I do a kind of a look back at the Vita library and everything. But it's I'm kind of happy in a sense that it's coming to an end. I can stop, having to hoard and jump and make sure I'm keeping on track of each release coming out for the Vita. I can start focusing on picking up the games I really want to play for other systems like PlayStation 4 and Xbox, which is great to me. Kind of saves me money in the long run. The reason I went to the Vita games is because they're pretty reasonable. I mean, about $30 at most. You're spending $50 for a limited edition. And to me, that was more manageable because I could buy two Vita games for the price of a PlayStation game, essentially. Other than like budget games and such. And for a long time last year, I was picking up Vita games for $5, $10 each used, complete in box and everything. And the fact that they don't have manuals, I don't have to worry as long as it has the original cover, the box, and the game. And I found places that actually have box replacements that are the blue Vita cases if any of them get damaged, which is really nice. But aside from that, I mean, it's just more proof that the Vita's time is over. E3 is right around the corner, and there's a lot of rumors and speculation that they may announce kind of a Switch ripoff that may be what the Vita was supposed to be. It had a lot of potential, between the fact that you could take the games and put it in the play, hook it up to your TV. But at the same time, if you wanted to take it on the go, you can easily upload to the cloud, download your saves to your Vita, and be on the go, which was great. And I used that feature a lot, especially with the travel for business and everything, or personal or pleasure. It was a great way to do that. So, yeah, in a sense, there's that. And I don't, I kind of, I hope, but I don't expect Sony to really reveal anything as for a successor to the Vita. There was some talk some time ago that Sony was not looking into creating a new one, that they wanted out of the handheld spec and give Nintendo the full 100% portability. But on the other hand, I mean, Nintendo's been kind of
mum about exactly what they're doing in the portable area. Switch has kind of filled that gap. The Nintendo 3DS, I'm surprised hasn't stopped production yet, and is still going. Um, and I can kind of, I guess that's another discussion between the Switch and 3DS as to which one is should be handheld and which one should not, and all that stuff. But yeah, it's kind of concerning and relieving, I guess. Um, Sony has said that, of course, that by this time next year, February 2019, that's it. But they will still continue to deliver digital games to the Vita, and they haven't stopped or said when they're going to stop that. Plus, it only seems to affect Europe and America. Japan is still very strong with the Vita. There seems to still be, or what may still be, English Asian releases from like Play Asia or East Asia Soft coming down the line, probably in 2019. So I'm sure we'll still see games well into 2020 until that's done, unless they announce that the end of 2019 may be the end of the Japanese or Asian market for the Vita. So yeah, I mean, that's instead of keep rambling on, that's kind of my feelings on the whole thing. With it going fully digital, I mean, from this little critter here, it kind of reminds me of another system that Sony tried releasing, which is this guy here. Fully digital, I mean, that's kind of the way it's going to go. Granted, you can still pick up a lot of the carts used at GameStop. GameStop still has a limited stock of them. And I don't know if they're going to stop that or not anytime soon, and they may. I would recommend, though, if you are interested in the Vita, now is definitely the time to find one. I still see used Vitas for about $168 at GameStop, the OLED version, and that's a whole other debate as to if you want the OLED or the LCD version. Personally, there's pros and cons to both, just like there was with the PSP 1, 2, and 3000 version. So yeah, just something that I kind of wanted to get out there. Yeah, I'm shedding a tear. I'll have a drink for the Vita, but there's still some time left. We are still going to get releases, so I will still continue to get those. The end is near. There's kind of light at the end of the tunnel, as sad as it is. But it'll be interesting. So what are your guys' thoughts? I mean, do you have interest in the Vita? I know a few of you do. Are you sad about the news? Are you happy about the news? Let me know. I'm willing to talk about it. I'm even on Discord if people want to talk to me personally or whatever. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. And as always, I thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.